The short pitch, also called the elevator pitch, gets its name from the idea that you might be pitching yourself during a short ride in an elevator. So a short pitch could be as short as 10 seconds, up to maybe 30 seconds tops. The common use for the pitch is not as an answer to the "tell me about yourself" question in an interview, although you could use it that way. But it's best thought of as an answer to, so what do you do, when meeting a potential business friend. It's helpful to reflect on the 3 core questions that you ask in designing your full pitch. Most importantly, you should remember you're not going to recite your pitch like an automaton. Instead, you're going to listen to the advice of career coach Deborah Grayson Regal. She tells of a networking event where she walked up to a woman who, like her, was trying to balance a plastic tumbler of wine, a plate of cheese, and a handful of business cards. They both laughed at their shared predicament, put down their plates, and introduced themselves. Now, poor Robin, the other woman, had been coached to have her elevator pitch at hand and as ready to use as a business card. Unfortunately, the way she used it was artificial, and it broke the connection that was developing with her potential business friend, Deborah. A good response would have allowed that personal connection to build instead of cutting it off with a robot-like response. Deborah's first question was, what does that mean? Is she a chiropractor, a career coach, a drug dealer? Deborah's second question was, who talks like that? The answer to the first question turned out to be physical therapist. The answer to the second question was entrepreneurs who have been taught that they need an elevator pitch but haven't practiced how to actually deliver it in a real conversation as a real human being. The problem with most elevator pitches is that they get written on paper but not adjusted to how a real person speaks. Spoken English is not written English. There's an old joke among linguists that if people learn to speak like we teach students to write, everyone would be a stutterer. No one would speak fluently with the grammarian's discipline ready to slap at every utterance. See, spoken English is about communicating and connecting. In real life, it's interactive and communicative with the speech partner. That's how a business conversation should feel. But the majority of business-coached elevator speeches sound like infomercials. We help startups maximize their social media strategies to grow their customer base. But wait, there's more. That's a one-way delivery system designed to make a powerful, positive first impression, but listeners tend to feel pitched at rather than engaged with. Few people like to feel like they're being sold. Remember, we're not buyers, we're choosers. So how do you speak naturally? First, you have to write your elevator pitch in language you'd use when speaking. That means short sentences, most words of 1, maybe 2 syllables, short clauses that communicate clearly. Use the simplest language possible. An organization's mission statement may talk about serving the growing population of at-risk adolescents, but most people would just say kids who are in trouble in regular conversation. So say that. If you turn your pitch into a question, you can speak directly to the problem that your conversation partner may face in his or her business life. Let's say you're a professional organizer. You could ask, you know that pile of papers you've got somewhere in your house that you've been meaning to get through? And then wait, yeah, I know that pile of papers. Well, as a professional organizer, I help people finally get through that. You should be willing to skip your pitch entirely if you're already making a warm connection with someone and they ask you what you do. Don't risk bringing a cold pitch into the conversation. Just say what you do. And more importantly, find out what the other person does and show genuine curiosity about them. Now, to cut your longer pitch down to a 10 or a 30-second elevator pitch, start by filling a whole page with everything you've worked out in your worksheet, everything that you would want to say to a hiring manager. Cut that down to half a page. Keep cutting until you get it to a quarter page. Then pull out, say, 3 bullet points that give a snapshot of your why in a tight single sentence. Practice until it's easy as saying your name. Always rehearse out loud to a friend or into a voice or video recorder. You may or may not want to use a mirror. Some people find that helpful, others awkward. But force yourself to sound enthusiastic. Remember, a good pitch should answer 3 questions. Who are you? What do you do? What are you looking for? It should always be tailored to your speaking partner and the actual business context. As an English language specialist, I work with advanced learners. I help them navigate the world of Anglo-American English. I help professionals get published, help them deliver dynamic presentations, and help them pilot the cultural channels of Anglo-American English. Yes, I do.